I'd almost forgotten what Chef can do with a steak.
Welcome to Sci-Fi Steak. Let me quickly sum up this episode. Yawn. What happens in this episode? Not a lot, that's for sure. Some deaf diplomat comes aboard and gets 3 people killed. Yeah. The captain informs us that the Enterprise has the exciting task of transporting a mediator. No interference. Picard is staring at a planet with a wonky orbit for some reason. I guess the episode wants to grant us a short moment of quiet before all the action begins. Riker is a bit pissed that Picard ignores his orders not to leave the ship. And they emphasize again how important it is not to get involved. Troy is having some fun embarrassing Worf. She just tells everyone that he has strong emotions. This is so incredibly inappropriate. Didn't your mother teach you about privacy?
Privacy? Of course.
The captain, the tattletale, and the man with the strong emotions beam down and just wander around for a while. After Space: A Final Frontier, Reva finally arrives and makes a big show of introducing his chorus. One scene like this is enough for me to really, really dislike the character. I don't care how good a diplomat you are. If you feel it's necessary to make this kind of a fuss about just saying hello, you're a jerk. And he's hitting on Troy. Oh, great. Reva explains his chorus, that he's deaf and that the 3 speak for him. I find it a bit irritating that he needs different voices for different parts of his personality, but that kind of extravagance fits his introduction. Reva gets angry when Picard addresses his chorus instead of him. Sure, how dare he to speak to the other people in the room when he's there? Just ignore these idiots back there. He's the important guy. Man, I really don't like this dude. Degra then explains that all members of the ruling family are deaf. What's the name of that family? Targaryen? Troy says this method of communication is elegant and beautiful. Elegant? You need to drag 3 people along everywhere you go. People who basically have no lives on their own. They have to experience everything you do. Have no right to say no, apparently. Elegant? Beautiful? Those are not the words I would choose to describe this. Reva gets to see the bridge. Picard wants to introduce his officers, but Reva interrupts him. This guy is a diplomat, huh? Allow me to express some doubts. And then he says one sentence and graciously allows Picard to continue. What a jerk. Yeah, no, this guy is no diplomat. He does everything he can to make people uncomfortable. Personal space? Hello? Reva is intrigued by Geordi's visor. He says the visor is like his chorus. Yeah, except that Geordi does not yell at everyone who talks to his visor instead of him. Oh. Picard wants to get rid of Reva and offers to have him escorted to his quarters, but Reva prefers Troy to do that. The libido part of him comes along. The others are just left behind. Not even a see you later, just dropped like an old shoe. Troy discovers the next flaw in this elegant communication when they want to eat together and she asks if the chorus guy will be there. Yeah, of course he will. During a briefing, Data wants to explain why the people Reva is going to visit don't get along. But Reva's not interested. He doesn't want to be bored with the details. Yeah, I kinda agree with that. Reva then acts insufferable for a while, pointing out that he has never failed and then leaves for his date with Troy. One nice little detail. He has already turned away from everyone when his female voice says, "If you will excuse me." Just imagine that scene if he could talk with his own voice. I'd rather let Archer negotiate at this point. romantic dinner is underway. We talk about exciting stuff like how the noises of the ship feel.
The state of your emotion.
Reva sends his libido voice away and they try it with sign language. And I'm calling BS on Troy getting what he's trying to say here. What a shame, the meal is interrupted because they have reached their target. The people who so desperately want peace started firing at each other again. And of course it takes Reva 20 seconds to convince them to cease fire. Worf wants to send security down, but Reva says no. He wants as few people as possible down there. Let's write that down for later. Down on the planet, Reva orders torches and a table from the ship, and he tells Riker to remain very calm, even when he is provoked. Some friendly-looking guys show up, and Reva starts giving his speech. One of the guys loses his nerves and draws his gun. Riker pulls Reva out of the way, but his chorus... I'm not sure if a bunch of gold shirts could have prevented this. Skilled security personnel might have, though. After this little disaster, Reva is upset. Maybe be a little less arrogant about what a great guy you are next time. A little less of, oh, no worries, I have never failed before. The next flaw of that elegant and beautiful method of communication is it kinda depends on your chorus being alive. But I'm not sure what exactly Picard is trying to accomplish here. You don't need to yell. We have already established that Reva can read lips. So just look at him and talk normally. Troy and Pulaski are here to tell Picard that Reva is not doing so well. They say that they can't help him. He has to suck it up. Data has learned sign languages, so Picard says, let's go and kick Reva in the butt. Data translates what Reva is saying, and Reva feels guilty for getting his chorus killed. Picard says he's not to blame. Yeah, he kinda is. He refused security. Reva says the three were more than his interpreters, they were his friends. No, they were not. They were his tools. Picard says the people on the planet want to try again, but Reva doesn't want to. Reva is rolling in his guilt and refuses. Picard offers that Data could translate, but Reva says that wouldn't translate his emotions. Picard points out that a lot more people are going to die if Reva doesn't do his job, and Reva storms out. Pulaski and Geordi talk about an alternative for the visor, but it wouldn't be as good as a visor. Pulaski also offers to replicate Geordi new eyes, but there would be no going back and there would be risks. Geordi thinks about it. Knowing that this won't go anywhere, well, still the most interesting part of this episode. Troy tells Reva that they will bring him back home, but first she will attempt to do his job. Sure, she, not Picard, who actually is a diplomat. But of course, this is just a trick to get him to realize that he is still better than her, even without his chorus. Reva says the real secret is to turn disadvantage into advantage. Troy then calls him out on not following his own rule. So, of course, he now agrees to try. They beam down again without gold shirts or skill security. Ugh. Reva explains that he hopes that the fact that they all first need to learn to communicate with each other will help settle the conflict. Or it will get him shot. Who knows? So they leave him behind, and he waits. Picard is still staring at his wonky planet. Picard thanks Troy and says, well done. Boring is what this episode is. Boring. And disturbing. I can't help but imagine the life these three poor people must have had before they died. How is this allowed? Ever heard of labor protection laws? How long were their days? How many hours did they work? Did they get to have friends, families, hobbies? Elegant and beautiful, my ass. Lesson of the episode. The more arrogant you are, the harder the audience will cheer when you fail. Thank you all for listening. See you next time here at Sci-Fi Steak. Bye.